Hello, welcome to Toffee TV. It is the Everton Daily Live. I'm back by popular demand. Is David Field? I don't know what he's doing.
I'm taking a photo.
Okay, well we've gone live and you're taking pictures.
I don't know about by popular demand, but
there you go.
Peace, Toffies.
How are you, mate? You good?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you.
What have you made of Everton's start to the season? Because obviously, I'm guessing, like everybody else, when that half-time whistle went at Ellen Road and you were there, you probably thought, what have I just witnessed? Because I've got to say, that first 45 minutes was one of the worst I've ever seen from Everton. They were absolutely dreadful. Not a single attempt at goal. And yet, since then, even the second half, we dominated, even though we lost the game. But what do you think? What have you made of it all so far?
Okay, you're right. I agree with that. I'd say, first of all, if we're not here to attach blame to things because this is an incremental process and it's going to take time. That's the operative aspect. Let's not get ahead of ourselves after where we've been. He picked the wrong side. He set us up wrong in the first place. We made them look like Real Madrid. They played in the same colour as Real Madrid, and that's about as much.
That's where
we gave them everything. For the side what's just been promoted, what you don't want to do in a ground like that, specifically in a ground like that, is give them 20 minutes of having the ball and let them all get behind it and believe in it. It was ridiculous because they're not that good.
No, they just run around.
That showed it, as you just pointed out, in the second half. However, that was just dumb. And he's not normally dumb, this fella.
No.
It was just like he took his eye off the ball as regards that and just didn't factor in that these are not used to the Premier League. Of course they're going to be mad for it. Of course it's going to be packed. It's a Monday night, there's only one game on. Everyone's watching it. He literally did everything wrong. Got to the half-time. Even the second half, we did better in the second half, but we weren't fantastic.
Control of it, that was all.
If you look at the three games, what came after that game, you could see if we'd have given 30% of what we showed in those games, in that game we'd have won 2-0, maybe 3. Easy.
Been done.
The runners off the ball, the passes inside the fullback, none of that was happening.
No,
there was no movement. We were too deep. So when we did get it, the centre forward was isolated. It's like, oh my God, what's happening here? Again, they're not great. But with regard to your wider points about how I've seen the first 5 weeks of the season, is it now? I'm positive. Regards the squad, we've augmented it, not in size or in numbers, but certainly in quality. Absolutely in quality. You can see that all over the park. Case in point, and it's only a microcosm because we've seen this kid 15, 18 minutes. The big German Merlin looked a footballer to me the other day. And in other seasons gone by, in the past 5 or 6 seasons, that signing alone would have had us with optimism in this summer, if you see what I mean.
Yeah, no, I know your point.
Without the others, just him on his own, we'd have said, there's a bit of Fellaini about him, there's a bit of strength, he can play football. We would like to see him in different situations throughout the season, in different games against better teams, both home and away, in different, all the weathers and everything. So that, but now you'd had Dewsbury Hall, who, by the way, when I was, someone reminded me the other day, I came on here with you in January, and it was the end of the transfer window, and you asked me for 2 loan signings, what I would have wanted. And I said, Ferguson at Brighton, he ended up going to West Ham, he's now at Roma. And the second one I said was Dewsbury Hall, because I think he's a footballer. I think he's clever, he's got ability, and he fits our blueprint, as it were. I do. I think that, and then obviously on top of that is Grealish. So if you and the centre forward thing, I think that kid has got to be given time. So looking at the roster, as it were, if you see what I mean, going into this season, I'm far more positive than I was in any of the at least half decade previous. To be honest,
and we've also played the majority of games without 50% of our defence.
We have,
by the way.
Although, in fairness,
Michael Keane's been great.
Michael Keane's been fantastic.
We play when Brantwaite plays,
and not just that, they know it. That's the thing. They know it too. So the runs are different. There's an absolute mental aspect to that.
And a calmness of him on the ball. And then obviously, we've also got Michalenko. We haven't had Michalenko. We had him for one game. And whether you're a lover of Michalenko or not, he's very good.
Michalenko walks into our team, however.
And we lost James Garner from playing really well in his normal position back to
Jimmy
left back.
Garner's probably been the best player.
He's done really well, but we've seen at Wolves how he changed the team. At Wolves, he allowed Dewsbury Hall to go and do what he does best.
Yeah.
We saw a filler on Saturday. Because Boonen was in there and Dewsbury Hall's thinking, hang on, if I start running past Beto, there's a big wide hole in the midfield. And that's where the way Villa play. And we get Villa try to get 3 defenders. Luca Dean plays like a winger.
He does.
They try to get 2 players free in the middle of the park to spin you and off you go.
Yeah.
So Dewsbury Hall, you could see him thinking, I'm not leaving McGinn or Tielemans because if I go... And that's where I think Saturday, even though Everton were by far the better team, should have won the game comfortably. You know, XG and all that proves that. We just weren't quite the same because the makeup of the team wasn't quite the same.
No.
But I'm with you. I'm massively optimistic for the season as a whole. I think you're right. We haven't, numbers-wise, I think the manager will say this, with probably 3 short of what he wanted. But quality-wise, we've gone up 5, 6, 7 levels to what we had last season. Even just on the right alone, we had as hard work as he put in, Jack Harrison. Lindstrom's all right at times, but the pair of them had a goal and an assist. Well, and Jai's played out there for a few games. He got 2 goals already.
The thing about that, just to be on that point, Ndiaye, since these have... Ndiaye's been a marvellous player. If you look at the Anthony Gordon Ndiaye thing, we got 45 million and we got him for 15. We got the better end of that deal, no matter what happens with Anthony Gordon. I know he's young and still to develop, but from where we were, backed into a corner, painted into a corner, that was an excellent transfer.
Oh, it's tremendous.
An excellent transfer.
And well deserves some
he
credit
does. That's the reason I mentioned it. However, if you thought he was good last year, from what we've seen up to now, with these 2 in the team with him, because they can't watch everybody all the time.
That's the thing, isn't it?
You can double up if you want, but you'll be doubling up on Grealish, and this fella's going to turn you, come inside, put it between his feet, meg you, and put it in the corner if you give him a chance to do that. So these are all massive positives. I need to stress that we're going to talk about the derby in a minute. So we need to be grounded in our hopes and optimism to say, okay, it is absolutely better than what it's been. We've come on 3, maybe 4 transfer windows in one single window, actually, is what we've done compared to what's gone before it. But we're going to have lessons to learn. Leeds, as we've just discussed, being a case in point, we'll get things wrong. But if you can add to an already optimistic fan base, other, like the things you said about the fullbacks, for example, an extra centre forward, another winger maybe, I don't know, but and add it as we go forward. That's momentum in this league. If you look at Brighton and Fulham of late, certainly Brighton over the past 4 or 5 years, that's what they've done. They've said, we're good, but we need to get this and that, and kept their head down, don't be screaming and shouting about it, and just get better. So that's what I'm looking for. And I'd say up to now, I have definitely seen, you know, the green shoots of hope in that direction, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think the other thing as well, a big indication of it, certainly what I take from it, is we paid 35 million for a kid who's been on the pitch for about 20 minutes, hasn't come on in the Premier League yet. No one's really losing their head over it. He's just an investment. He's there. He'll force his way in, and he's got loads of talent and ability. No one's going, he's got to play. Why is he not playing? And all. We're just sort of going, oh, that's mad how he's not got on the pitch. But that's football, isn't it? That shows you where your levels are.
Do you know what it is on that point, and especially in the position? But you just mentioned them then when you were talking about Villa. Digne, when we signed Digne, everyone was like, he hasn't done... He played for Barcelona, PSG, and somebody else. Roma. And it was like, you don't get through all of those doors if you can't play football. Well, we both know the German league. Bayern Munich very rarely buy a bad player. So if he's got to wait, and he's got to learn, and he is only a kid. So I'm kind of optimistic with that one too, to be honest with you. I think that his education will be good.
You've got Asnu, you've got Roll, you've just mentioned he had 28 minutes, I think, on Saturday, looked good. You've got Tyler Dibbling. There's 3 lads, 23, and I really like Alcaraz. I think Alcaraz affects the game every time he's on for it, mostly positively for us sometimes. He doesn't run back, but there's 4, 23 and under.
Well, that's it.
Who are all lads who I think can get in our team. Tierno Barry, I've watched him the last few years. Takes a bit of time, then he gets the speed, and then so far he's been able to cope with every step up. Hopefully he can do that at the Premier League.
Do you know what I like about him?
23 and under.
Do you know, in the brief synopsis we've had of him up to now, he reminded me a little bit of Lukaku, not in front of goal, but where he pulls out and then plays somebody else in. He's able to do that. That goal we scored against Brighton, the second goal, was it?
The both goals? Watch how good his touch is on the first goal. It's played up to him. He kills it, drops his shoulder to come inside, so 2 Brighton players come to shut him off, and he just plays a reverse pass, gets it, but we're round the corner now, 3 out the game. See, that intelligence.
The thing with that is, though, in order for that to work, I like it. I like it on paper, I like it on the pitch. Yeah. But in order for it to work, you've got to have runners into the box, which Alcaraz comes into, by the way, absolutely 100%. That for the past 4 years, 5 years, we haven't had any runners.
That's someone on their own.
That's been the problem. So that statement, those statements alone, that's positivity. Well, because not everyone's great in this league at defending. And once you pull them out, they're great when they're in the line, 2 banks of 4. But as soon as you move their centre-halves out the way, big holes start appearing. Well, the fact is you've got to fill them. Sorry.
But the second goal, what you were going to talk about, that's a ball up. Plays it off first time, spins, and then Jai gives me back. Now all of a sudden he's got 30 yards to run into.
Correct.
Doesn't panic, holds the lad up, lays a little ball, gets switched, and obviously it's a great finish from James Garner. But now that Beto doesn't have that. No. Beto was probably the player that most of us really want to do well because he loves it.
Yeah.
He knows he's not great anywhere and all that, but it's just Saturday was an indication of just hasn't. He'll have them days. He had 3 sitters on Saturday and he's 2 of them he should have absolutely buried and he didn't.
He should have buried,
but that's Beto in a nutshell. He might get one on Saturday that you don't expect from somewhere. That's just the way he is. So Tierno Barry, I'm really confident that
the reason I mentioned
develop.
Barry, I highlighted Barry, was what you just said about the youth. Where Dibbling was who you were alluding to when I went off on Andrew, but you were alluding to Dibbling.
Yeah.
And again, that these are signings I would have expected from Moyes about 2007 in the first iteration of his management, when he was secure. We had a defence, we had Cahill and Arteta and Pienaar, and now I want to throw a little bit of salt on the top of it, a little bit of seasoning. These are those sort of buys. Our problem, this particular window, was that the arse had fell out of our squad. The ones what weren't leaving were old, or do you know what I mean? It was like, so we had to sort of reinvent the wheel in one window, and that's never going to happen.
It's difficult, isn't
but
it?
I do believe, in retrospect, a month on from it now, or how many weeks on from it now, you look and say, if someone had come to us, not just in May, but in January, when that other window closed, and said, you'll get to September the 1st or 2nd, and you can have all these, we'd have bitten their hand off. We'd have bitten their hand off. Calvert-Lewin out the door on all that money. He ends up at Leeds. We get Barry from Villarreal. He's not the finished article, but there's a player in there, in my opinion. We'd have taken it all day long. Blanthwaite stays. The goalkeeper's in goal. We'd have said...
Grealish is there.
Grealish comes and buys donuts for everyone. It's like, do you know what I mean?
I don't even think he pays £6.50 for a donut.
On his internet, on his Instagram.
Been sold. He's been sold.
Probably has been sold, but it goes on there.
Yeah. No, listen, he's been... It's been brilliant. It has. It's not amazing, and there's no point going overboard because it's 4 games of football.
Yes.
But it's been good. Yes. But when you look at it overall, David Moyes walked in the door, and I used the 2 Villa games actually as the bookmarks. Walked out, I've said this all week, he walked out that night at Goodison optimistic. He'd had a day, and we should have got something. Dom missed 3 sitters that night. We could have won the game.
We
make a mistake, and Ollie Watkins puts one.
They were on the fire as well at the time.
And yet we, when I remember, I'm going to out the fella again at the time because it was nonsense. If he'd actually probably been so embarrassed that he even said anything to me now, he's probably gone and lived in Spain or something.
Okay.
Because he was clearly a Sean Dyche, like praise to Sean Dyche, right? Because we got beat by Villa. And I'm walking out and he come up and went, almost like it wasn't the manager, isn't it? So I went, before you go, mate.
Because we got beat.
Because we lost, yeah. Okay. I said, we just played a team who was third. Have you not just watched us dominate? Well, not dominate them, but be capable of winning the game.
Absolutely.
So we haven't had a shot on target for about 6 months. What are you on about? And he disappears, scurry off, don't he? Because they realise and go, oh yeah, actually, yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Scurried off to wherever he came from.
Yeah.
I walked outside. So that night, if you'd have gone to me, Watkins misses and we draw 0-0, I walk out of Goodison going, that's a hell of a point. They're a really good side. That's a hell of a point. So I walk out Saturday 0-0, deflated, thinking, we should have beat them. We were all over them. There was only one team trying to win the game. They came for a point. They had 10 men behind the ball. They were kicking it anywhere. The goalkeepers, as we knew he would when he was put back in the team. By the way, you and I, if you're watching, weak management, that's some really weak management, putting him back in.
You saved him, though.
No, he saved him. There you go. But you can't do an interview where you're asked about him, you go, Bizzot. Mark, he said 9 times. And then the next minute you put him in.
And go,
it's weak management. It's
difficult.
But I do love him, he's brilliant. And Martinez is infinitely a better goalie, but I just think, don't say the things in the first place. Anyway, that's by the by. But I walked out really disappointed Saturday that we haven't won. Now I look back and I go, one of them days, they're a good side, we were better, so therefore that may be where we are in the evolutionary thing at the minute. We're closing a gap. They might still run away, but we're closing a bit of a gap. And that's progress. And if we come out of Anfield on Saturday, listen, the worst thing that could happen is fucking drawing going into injury time at these, because the devil just goes like that and gives them a little bit of salt bait on it at the top, and,
Can I just
get over it.
Interject for a second?
Go ahead.
The worst thing that could happen, look at the statistics, look at who they bought just in this last window, never mind what they already had.
450 million. Yeah.
Correct. So basically, if this was a war between countries, they've got a lot of weapons. We've got 3 pop guns, and one of them firing confetti things out at the top of the thing. That's what we've got as regards weapons. In comparison,
when you look at it,
so
on paper,
I'm not a betting man. Neither are you.
No.
Neither are you. But a bookie would sit down and say, if you play them there with these squads 100 times, they'll win over 90 of them.
Yeah, easily.
So then, back to the original point. What the worst thing is that can happen is we go there and lie down, because Moyes has been guilty of that before. Go and give it a go. Else. Throw some digs.
I would say, though, you're right, and I absolutely...
Throw some digs, man.
And I'm going to come back to that, because that was my point. I do, just for the clarification, so's every single manager we've ever had since, by the way. No one's got... Only Marco Silva... Well, he went and lay down in an FA Cup time. He played their under 14s.
So he
no fans.
Always did.
No fans. But Marco, the Pickford mistake.
I remember.
Best Everton have played at Anfield for years, probably since the 80s.
Michael
that day.
Was
we were
awesome.
Marvellous that day. Andre Gomez was unbelievable. He did miss an absolute sitter.
Yeah, he did.
A yard out. But we were tremendous that day.
That's true.
And that happened. But before and after that, we've gone there, and me and Ped were saying this the other day. Even at times when we have been flying, and you go, fancy this, like Koeman. That's Koeman. We went into that derby. Said this before. That derby was April the 1st, I think. And if Everton had won that day, there'd have been 1 point between the two teams for the race for the top 4. Yeah. And okay. He was really unlucky because Seamus Coleman broke his leg a few days before, and we ended up having to play. I think Pennington played, didn't he? We ended up having to play a slightly different team. But I went into that thinking, we could beat these, because we were playing really well. We had Lukaku, Ross Barkley was incredible. And we turned up and looked like we didn't know how to kick a football. We literally looked like we didn't know how to kick a ball. And you're like... So I want Everton to go here Saturday and play and give a really good example of what we've been doing well. Have a go at them and see what happens.
That point, what you just made there, the second to last point about we looked as if we couldn't kick a ball. That place can do that to you.
No, of course. Yeah.
Less so at 12:30 on a Saturday, actually.
After the European game.
Well, no, just Sunday games and early Saturdays. We know from being in Goodison what that's like. Flat, it can be flat. So, especially after a high of a European game, actually.
And a late winner and all that.
But I don't think that bothers because they'll just rotate the team anyway.
Yeah.
But it's more about us. That can happen to away teams there. But I haven't missed a derby in it's numerous decades since you know this.
Yeah.
Numerous decades since I haven't missed Everton playing there. And so I've seen fairly okay. Oh, the one we won with the Charlison, obviously.
Yeah,
although it did get me COVID vaccine that afternoon. And a message, big man, to say, if I climb over the thing, you sneak me on the bench.
Yeah.
He couldn't. Anyways, but I did say, what I'm saying is, it's actually, this is in mid-September, in a revamp of not just our manager and players roster, it's the whole club. New ground, new owners, new outlook, new CEO, new everything.
Yeah.
So it's basically baby steps where we are right now.
Yeah.
So there's no real pressure on us. We get beat by Liverpool at Anfield. Everyone gets beat by Liverpool at Anfield. It's not a big wow.
No.
We'll hate about it because we want to beat them. But in the greater scheme of things, it's not a big deal.
Isn't it?
So then, go there and be the best version of yourselves individually and collectively. And if do nothing else, put it in their head because they're going to have to come back to ours when they're looking to win the league. They've never been there. They've got no history of winning things.
Of course,
so let's do that. And it's like a boxer. There's two ways to lose. You can lose. You don't win the fights, but there's two ways of losing. Start swinging. For the next time he fights you, he'll go, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to keep my chin out of the way of you. Because even though I beat you, you're dangerous. So that's what I'd like. I can pardon me, I can live with the losing. If I don't want to lose, I want to win. Or at least get a point. But if those two things can't happen, it's the way you lose. I want Moyes, this time, this iteration of his second coming as Everton manager, to put a flag on the floor and say, this is how we do it now. I've won a trophy. You can't sing that song again. I've put a thing in the floor. And now I want to do it here because this is where my heart is. And I look around and I think, the stands will be full. It'll be loud. We can't really do anything more for them except... That's the thing I believe we've been guilty of. We get shy of them. We get there's games I've been to, and the weakest part of their team is in defence. In my opinion,
no, it is. 100%.
So basically, let's have a look. Have they got a glass chin? We don't know because no one seems to want to hit them on it. So let's. I keep throwing boxing analogies in. I apologise for that, but I do believe. It's a slugfest, the derby. It's not Renaissance paintings. It's a slugfest. So you've got to have it in you for a battle. First of all, we'll probably have a penalty against us or a sending off. These things happen. If you look at the statistics, you said XG before. So let's be realistic going into it and say, sound, okay. Let's not pin anything on it. It's not a be-all and end-all. No. But let's give it a go because then, on the Tuesday, we've got a really important cup tie at Wolves. So let's have that in our head to say, do you know what? We might have lost there the other day.
But we
were in it till 85 minutes or 60, 80 minutes. That's what I'm looking for this time. And say, well, then, we can then build on that. So if we get them in the cup or we go back there next year, we've got that now. That's how you.
That's how you do it.
Do you know what I mean? The incremental progress thing. I want to start now. I've been coming on here too long, brother. Where we're just like, what's going to save us? How do we get out of it? Well, we now know how we save ourselves. So let's start doing it from now.
I agree. Listen, the results will be the results. They've had the earliest winner they've had this season's 83 minutes. So they've won every game in the last 5, 6. Or however long the ref wants to play till he win it. You know, in the case of Newcastle, whatever it was, they just played till he scored and then he blew the whistle. But that's footy, and they credit to them. They keep going, they keep going. But for me, we do have to go and have a go. And I'm not sure that this team can go and sit back and defend because otherwise, what's the point of having Jack Grealish and then Jay on the pitch? You may as well just put Mail and Roll and put someone else on and go, we're just sitting. And he's not going to do that. He's not going to leave Jack Grealish out. He's not going to leave Jay out. So Everton have got the weapons. I mean, the scene, Atletico Madrid's first goal last night, and once again, Captain Marvellous runs away because he doesn't want to engage anyone. He just likes running away and pointing.
He likes that stat.
So there's big, because when he's coming to the end, we all know he's diminishing the trains now. Let them wax lyrical about him. But if you look at it, there's a lot of goals that he gives up. It's his fault, but he'll point and then people go, can't be his fault because he's amazing. But it is his fault. So I hope we get in them pockets where Jai can run at him, because he does back off and he runs away from anyone. We've seen it in the derby last season. Beto
should have scored.
Had games like Saturday, but last season, the 2 derbies, he had them everywhere. Van Dijk didn't want him. He was like to the other fella.
That's right up Beto's alley.
That's it.
Physical.
Yeah, that's what it. Get the two of them. Yeah. Me and Konate will have a scrap.
Yeah.
Last year at Anfield, he's a midgie's cock away from. He scored. It was a great goal. If he was off, he was a midgie's cock. He missed the one he should have scored. He hit the post, but we could have gone in 2-0 up at the break there. We weren't playing great. Moyes had us nice and organised. They were going for the league, and yet
the squad was limited as well.
No, it wasn't. We ended up putting Chimiti on the wing and everything. We were trying to. So therefore, we had a little.
On a sub,
we had a little. Well, he was only just come back from the injury. Got injured at home against them. And at home, we were by far the better team. Yeah. They got away with murder at Goodison. I know we score the last kick of the game to equalise, but there's not in any universe that they should have been ahead. Everton were the better side. They were the better side at Anfield, but we were in it. There's no problem with that. Let's go and have a right good goal, like you said. And if we lose, well, we lose there regularly. It's not like we've never lost and we're protecting this thing. We've won once in 30 years or something there, or whatever it is. So 25 years, whatever. So it's a case of just giving a good account of ourselves. And what I mean by that is having a go, playing like the way we know we can play. Yeah. Don't make any stupid errors. If there's nothing on, turn them. Get better after it. Let's see what they do, because they've had 1 clean sheet this season, and that was against Arsenal. And Arsenal missed 3 or 4 chances that day, and it was a crap game. But Bournemouth went there, got 2, should have got something out of the game. They went up to Newcastle. Newcastle had 10 men, got 2 against them. Atletico Madrid have got 2 against them. Sorry, they had the clean sheet Sunday, but then they got the penalty.
Burnley held them with 10 men.
But Burnley had them, so they're as good a side as they are, and they found a way to win.
Yeah, no, they're good.
But they give you opportunities as well, so we've got to go and have a go. Liverpool win, but we've done all right. You go, all right, I hate losing to them at any time. But we pick ourselves up for Wolves, like you said.
I would take one thing from that, actually, the comparison between last season and this season in both the home games, and like what you just said then about you don't really want to go there and sit off waiting for them. We are now exponentially better at keeping hold of the football. We've got players in this team who are exponentially better at keeping hold of the football and or incurring fouls because they keep hold of the football that well that the opposition have to foul you to try and get it, which then allows us to bring our big players up. And set pieces are going to be important in this game, both defending them and attacking them, 100%. So these are all small margins, but a derby in many ways is like a cup final or a cup tie, like a quarter final, that kind of vibe, where that's what it's going to be won and lost on, is small margins. Either that or they'll run away with it and have 3 by half time. That can also happen, which is no shame in it. People do that all the time.
They're a good side.
They're an excellent side. And the thing about what I'd like to mention as well is their subs bench has been killing us for years. They just rotate internationals. But this is the first year I can remember going there. We're not kind of compatible.
No,
but we've got a subs bench of our own now.
We haven't just got kids, have we?
We've got options to actually change the game.
You're the biggest indicator. We haven't had to have 2 goalies on the bench.
No, you laugh.
That's a big point.
You laugh. Yeah. That's a massive point.
Big point, isn't it?
That is a massive point. That used to drive me insane, by the way. But that is an absolutely valid point, definitely. But I'm saying, even that game off Villa, I'm not wishing to kick Moyes up the arse for it. I just disagree with him. But I thought you had more on the bench the other day in the last 10 minutes.
People have said that.
So maybe just have a go.
Have a bit of trust.
Shake it up a bit.
He could have, I suppose, because I thought Njai was marvellous in the first half, but second half, he was hardly in the game.
I thought the same about Grealish.
So I would have took him on.
That was the way.
But Everton went through Grealish, though.
But it's going to do against Villa,
I know, but what I'm
it.
saying is, what I'd have done, I'd have taken Jay off and put Dibbling on. And I'd possibly, maybe even have took Dewsbury all off for 15 minutes and threw Alcaraz on and go at them. Run at them, because they were just camped in their
box. Substitutions, the options for those substitutions, all those players this time last year starting our first team. Everyone,
Everton's
the ones
bench,
who were coming on, the ones who were going on.
Slavers is probably better than João Virginia because he's played. He's into
yeah. I like João Virginia.
Then you've got Asnu, who's potential, but he's been at Bayern. He was at La Mesa, till he went to Bayern, played for Zaragoza, was it? Or
anyway,
like that
who?
Valladolid, sorry. On loan, Valladolid, yeah.
Killing it.
Then you've got Seamus is whatever. Nathan Patterson's a Scottish international. Then you've got McNeil, who was in our team and can't get a
100%.
second now. Dibbling, Roll, and Thierry Barry. And have I missed one?
No, even if you'd have.
Nah, but
that's
if you
amazing.
just look at them,
that's amazing.
Then you go,
Jesus.
There's players there, and a lot of them are banging on the door. And this week, you'd expect Michalenko to be back. The manager said Friday he had a chance for Saturday. A week later, you'd think, well, if he's got a chance for Saturday.
But he's been injured all season, so I think it's just nagging him, to be honest. But that point...
But he played at Wolves, didn't he?
That point about the substitution, I'm sorry to interject there.
And Alcaraz, I didn't even mention him. I just said he should have come on. I didn't even mention him.
Point about it, if you are losing 2 or 3, so then change it. There's no...
No. And I think he will not. I think he will not.
Let them predominantly, for the most part, of all of those players you've just named, and kind of Roll's got a foot in the camp from what we've seen up to now. There's loads of them offensive players. So let them go. Have a go.
See what happens.
So that
almost did. And he almost got a point out of it.
That speaks back to the positivity about starting this season with this sort of roster to say, not every game's going to be Anfield away.
Yeah.
So what about when we go to West Ham or we go to Brighton or Bournemouth, and with this same squad and the ability to add in January and next summer, you'd say that's what we were crying out for.
Yeah.
That with coupling it with the new ground. This is absolutely how we wanted to start. It hasn't been perfect. No one in the right mind would have believed that it would be, but there's definite positives. So to reinforce that, to underline that, go to Anfield, give a good account to yourself, and everyone's going to be good with it, irrespective of the result. Try and win, of course. Yeah. If not, try and get a point, of course. Yeah. But if those two things don't happen, it's not the end of the world, because our actual currency from this is the progression thing. That's what we've got to maintain, in my opinion.
No, definitely, and that's how you get momentum, isn't it? Paul Williams says, I do think we can beat them at Anfield if we can pressure their backline. We have a chance. Well, put it this way, since Moyes has come back, I really don't fear this fixture. Going with James on this 3-1 to Everton, but we'll settle for a Van Dijk own goal, but would love that, to be fair. I mean, if you could pick Carlsberg done Derby wins for us, to use their old thing, then an own goal. An own goal from Van Dijk would be a cracking one, wouldn't it? Imagine it, be a belter, wouldn't it? Although 3-1 sounds nice. Spruce says, afternoon fellas, can we not just ignore the derby till 12:30 on Saturday?
Yeah.
Worst week of the season.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the best biscuit has to be Biscoff. The Aldi knockoff for 99p are amazing.
Oh yeah.
What is your bit? This biscuit chat's been going on this week. James threw a mad shout out the other day that for custard creams and bourbon. No, hang on, listen.
Old school.
They're not the big two.
Old school.
He said Barcelona, Real Madrid in the biscuit. Well, they're not.
The Barcelona Madrid with Ferenc Puskas playing for them. That's who. Old school, they were right up there. They were like World Cup quarter-finalists.
But they weren't the main two.
Well,
you did
we
throw
don't
some
know.
mad shouts out.
No.
But if you were to handpick top 3 biscuits...
I don't eat sugar stuff anymore, but if I was going to go for it, I like coffee. I drink coffee.
Yeah.
The Biscoff thing, when a few years ago, the expensive coffee, they give you one of them.
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
You're all right with that.
I've got to say, I am a fan. And the chocolate one, they put chocolate on them. It's like,
they're all right.
Lordy lord. Do you know what I mean? It's like, dude, okay.
I'll have it.
You're winning
Fair
already.
play.
Step away from the vehicle,
Fair
please.
Play. There you go then. Benji says, I almost hate to say it, but I'm cautiously optimistic about the derby. Hey, we can't tell you what to feel,
we can't.
mate.
No, it's
you
true.
do you.
It is true.
Graham says, "Hi lads, always good to see Dave back in the studio. Well grounded, talks a lot of sense, like yourself, Baz." Well, thank you very much, Graham. Thank you.
There's your dog, Graham.
Definitely. Sasquatch is a blue says, "All right, fellas, looking forward to the weekend. I can actually see us getting something out of it. Also, I've always said Van Dijk is overhyped, and when a bigger fella plays up front, i.e. Beto, he flaps it. The only problem is he's protected more than the Epstein files."
Moving on.
Let's move it on. He is a little bit overrated, yeah. He's a very, very good defender, but I just think he does take himself out of the firing line by hiding behind others and then pointing. You should have done that. When you look back, you go,
I don't pay any attention to him, but yeah.
That's your man. No, but when someone continually points, I have to look and go, what are you pointing? Has he got a... And then you're off and he hasn't got a point. He just lets people run away
the
from
implication
him.
That somebody else was to blame.
Yeah, not me. Basically, you know. Ashley Williams just used to pull his shirt over his head.
He did. But let's not go there either.
Let's not go there either. David Roberts says the red shirt defence is leaky. We can score at least 2 at the weekend.
You'd be in the game if you did.
Got a chance, haven't you? Daniel says the Reds were scary for the first time last night. I want to see us try, but they look slow and hopeless against the low block and frightening on the break. We're going to have to sit deep. Well, we probably will naturally sit deep, won't we? But it's how we spring them, isn't it? If you spring them with Njai and with Grealish and with Dewsbury Hall, Beto, you know, and then maybe someone like Garner's going to have to take to join in or whatever, especially if James Garner's playing in the 6. We've just got to make sure you've got cover. But they are quick on the break, aren't they? That's what £450 million on top of... Plus
being league champions, they augmented it, the league championship thing, with £450 million. It's a crazy... The algorithm would see them winning. That's the thing what gives me the most peace about it. That's what makes my belief in that we should just go and be the best version of ourselves, because I don't think they expect us to have that in our locker.
No.
To be honest, because we haven't had it for years.
No.
And I think that's the surprise part of it, where the Buster Douglas to Mike Tyson thing.
Just cats and
wait
cold.
till you walk into my range and I'm going to put one on the end of your chin, and then let's see what happens after that. And all of a sudden, it's a totally different game, because they're like, hang on a minute, they can hurt us. So maybe we won't burst on. Yeah. Maybe we won't send 5 runners up the park every single time. That is it's, again, incremental progress. We have to, if we come out of the ground on Saturday at 2 o'clock or 10 to 2, whatever it is, and I'm thinking to myself, that was what I wanted. That kind of performance, irrespective of result. That's my big win from there.
Well, that's how you check. That's how you get progression. Everton could go there. I mean, I'd take this as well. Like, get battered, win 1-0. And we'd all be bouncing, of course we would. But if you step back for a minute, you go, have we proved our progression? We'll know we've got to win. And we ground the win out. Not with that.
True.
We'd take that all day long.
Yeah.
Of course we would. But if you look... It's like the Leeds game. I look at Leeds. Leeds beat us day one. Leeds are getting relegated, in my opinion. Nothing changed. 20 minutes in, I knew they were getting relegated that night, even though people were going to better than us, because people are just mad.
Weren't better than us.
People are mad, aren't they? They see something and think everyone's better.
Yeah.
But you could tell that result's not really... If Everton played that game 10 times, Leeds have won their one. Everton would win 7 and we draw 2 with them. It didn't alter anything. That just... They're good at running around like lunatics, but there's zero quality. But
also, it hasn't been symptomatic of their later form. They haven't reproduced that in the previous game.
But that's what I'm saying.
So that actually speaks back to the original estimate, saying the fair to middling, they're a promoted team, which is in fairness to them. You always struggle when you jump up to a different level.
Because it's
but we we played into their hands on every
But what I'm saying
level.
is we could get out of Anfield with a performance that scrapes a result and everyone goes, and we've won 1-0.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't be, to me, anyway, when I look at it, it wouldn't be a demonstration that there's progression.
Yeah.
What would be is to go play like we can and win the game. Then I'd go, fucking hell, we've progressed. But then you'd have to repeat it and repeat it and repeat it, because that's real progression, isn't it? But I just hope we go and, like you said, swing a few.
Yeah, I think we have to.
We've got quality.
We have definitely got quality, and we've got weapons. They're not as big as their weapons, but we've definitely got weapons we haven't had in previous years. But I do think we, as a fan base, need to understand. It might not be this week. This might be the ultimate happy go, let's all go on holiday week if we do get a win there. But during this season there will be step backs. There will be things where our expectations aren't quite met. Leeds being a case in point. So as long as we factor that in to the whole 38 game season plus the cup competitions, I'm good with it. But we need to be grounded. We've done this too many times. But in the years leading up to leading Goodison, we were always changing manager and the owner problems and the PSR and the money. And all of those now seem to have dissipated, allowing us to be myopic, to be blinkered enough to just concentrate on going forward, which it's all been noise. In the previous years.
You should have seen the comments after Leeds.
Well, I can imagine. But what I'm saying is, we have to, when we get to that knee-jerk point of, we're all shite, we'll never be anything, and that can happen. I go to the game, I hear it in the ground, but to be grounded enough to say, I get it, it's a new start, there's a new squad, we didn't play well today, we made mistakes, the manager made mistakes, the defence, the midfield, the attack, whoever, whatever. Collectively, we weren't great. But to be grounded to say, right, we've got these games coming after that. Who is it? Wolves, West Ham, Man City, Crystal Palace.
No, Wolves, West Ham, Crystal Palace. Then a break, then City. So we've got back-to-back home games in 6 days that we should be winning.
So then that also needs to come into the horizon and say, this is a bigger picture. And we might find ourselves, you look at the likes of Fulham and Bournemouth and Brighton, who in those previous years have done exactly that. Haven't been screaming, haven't made a big deal about losing derbies or getting beaten in a cup tie, and have just carried on grinding and adding to a decent squad and making it even better.
You're never gonna jump.
Incremental.
Massive step. We're just not going to.
It's not quantum. It's incremental. Yeah, exactly. There's no quantum leap. But if we keep that in mind, well then, when we go to Wolves on Tuesday, for example, if we hang too much on this derby thing and they score 3 or 4, which they can do against any opposition in this league, of course they can. I don't want to see heads going down, be it in the ground or on the pitch. It's one of those things. Live it, slug it off, move on. And now that's a big game because we want to progress and then move on to the league game on the Monday. So that's got to be it. Let's evaluate it after Palace. Because there's another international break. There is. So if we have a look, I said... Is that before City? That's before City's after the break. Okay. So I said the other day, if we've got 13 points by that break, which means we win the 2 home games, and we should be beating Palace and West Ham at home. We should be. Palace, to me, I look at them and they're just one of them. I don't get what the hype is. You said about Emery before. He's getting the best out of them. He is definitely. But I still look at them and go to beat it. Sunderland have just gone in, got a point at the weekend. They did. So Palace are no. Drawed with them in the cup. They beat them on penalties, but they got 90 minutes. They're no big shakes for me, Palace. We should be beating them. West Ham are dreadful. They're just dreadful. They're a dreadful team. Potter, I don't know what's happening there because I think he's a good coach, but it just hasn't worked. They've lost all the goals. They've got one player in Jared Bowen. They're a poor side. We should be beating them. Whether we do is a different thing, but when you look at them games, so if we get anything on Saturday, you go, wow, that's a really good result, that, because they're either going to win the league, Liverpool, or they're going to be second, aren't they? I don't think they can finish further down than that. No, I don't either, no. Just and they are good. Last year they were really consistent, which won them the league. They've improved it. I was not convinced others have improved enough to do it around them. That's why I don't think they're amazing, but they're a really good side with good players. And so, like you say, the Saturday is Saturday, and it's how we develop.
But if we can get to that international break, and if we got to the international break and we had 13 points and we were in the next round of the Carabao Cup, that's tremendous start to the season for Everton. We might have lost the derby.
Exactly.
But that'd be a tremendous start of the season for Everton.
Exactly.
And that's what we have to do. We have to just, my opinion, we've got to build just on top of it. Don't lose our heads. Don't
in the moment. I think
nonsense.
That's what he's going to do, Moyes, actually. I think that's his thing. He would love to win at Anfield, obviously, just get that monkey off his back. But I think this season, with this squad, that's what he's going to do, because we're going to get to December and the games are harder in December. For example, we've got Chelsea and Arsenal and Forest twice in a few things, and City again, I believe. I might be wrong. So what we've got to do, again, to use a sport analogy, it's a marathon, not a sprint. So we need to, sometimes in a long race, like a endurance race, you have to put your foot down sometimes, and then you take the foot off the pedal a little bit, and then you put your foot down, and then you take the pedal off it a bit. And these times here, definitely go and try and win at Anfield, 100%. But then, like you just said, City are actually beatable for the first time in about 8 years. So that now comes into the equation. You might not win there. We've got an excellent record there, as good as anybody else's in the past 15 years, actually. Of all the big grounds, that's the best one as regards a points for our club. But I'm saying we need to factor these things in and say, then you can start looking towards Christmas, because you're going to be at the end of October, November, and then say, right, like you said, 12 to 15 points we've got at that halfway through mid-November, early November, mid-November. That's insane. Jesus, that's insane. That from where we just come from. Yeah. In one transfer window, that's insane. So now our expectations, okay, we might be able to dial them up a bit, but this is only the first page in a new tome of history of our club. We're literally writing it as we go along, but let's not make mistakes what we've made in previous years, which is just frustrating the holy bejesus out of us all. And then we look back and say, maybe that wasn't the best reaction, or maybe that wasn't the best choice. We've done the same. That was the definition of insanity that we used to have under Kenwright and under Bashiri. Why do we keep making the same mistakes? Well, let's have that as top of our to-do list. Let's not do that. We've made progress now, so let's make better decisions. And that goes with regard to the derby, then Wolves, then West Ham, then Crystal Palace and Man City, and beyond. But let's keep grounded, be optimistic, and get the best out of all of them. I think majority of Everton owners would be happy with that. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, Moyes' record since he come back, Everton have lost 5 in 23 games. Yeah. Well, he's been fantastic, and the team, compared to what we were suffering before, having to watch the other fellas' teams, you know, we had 9 games in 11 where we didn't score a goal. You know, this is chalk and cheese now. There's optimism. It was also that, you know, I went to every single game of his tenure, everywhere, and it was the bit about it when we were going there, knowing that we weren't going to have shots. That was the bit, the soul-destroying bit of it. This is now not that. You can see it in the kids. You can see it in the kids. Yeah, the belief, and they're excited to go. And that third goal at Wolves, the link-up play, how we finished it, the players involved in it, they're proper buzzing. Yeah. So that's a microcosm of what could be possible here. So we need to, you know, aim, shoot for the stars. You might hit the ceiling, but see what happens. Yeah, that's it. What about, because obviously we've spoken a few times about the ownership group and all that. Yeah. We talked about them when they come in and your hopes and all of that. What have you made of their opening, sort of? What are we in? We're 9 months now since they took over the football club. I know it might still be a little bit early, but it is early. What about the first impressions then of what's gone on so far? Are you optimistic? Or? You can't not be. Because everything about football ownership, Premier League ownership, but generally world, global football ownership, is I've got things I don't like off the field, which I'll raise a couple of them about Bramley Moor Dock before we leave it. That's okay. But every single fan base in global football, basically, 85% of their concerns is what you put on the park.
Yeah.
If you fund the team and add players who allow them to have the possibility of winning, you're going to have them on side. Well, they've been as good as the word. I thought that was insane when Moyes said at the end of last season it's going to be the biggest transfer window in the club's recent history. We're going to look to get 8, 9, 10 players. I thought he'd been on the spice. I was like, how long have you been here? Have you ever sat here with these? And shit, fair enough. If you count Alcaraz in that, which we do, count Alcaraz, who was a lone player, that's basically what's happened. So, as ownership, there's no nice billionaires. Let's
get that out there
straight away. So, you know, that's got to be factored in. But this is the world we live in now. However, if you say something and then follow through on it, you can only be. That's got to gain respect from the recipients of that, and which is the fan base. So you've come through. So the problem, like you just said then, in regards to something else, the problem is following that up and maintaining that as the standard. There's your problem. So I got to say right now, I don't know about the CEO. I haven't got enough experience with him. I've spoken to Leeds. I know a couple of Leeds fans. A couple of them liked them, a couple of them didn't. But then this is football.
Yeah,
Have
of course.
Show me someone who everybody likes.
Yeah, it's not happening.
I'll say that's not true. So basically, it's a work in progress. But as regards, if they'd got everything else right and not gotten the player reinforcement right, nothing else would matter.
Written off, wouldn't it?
There you go. So that being the case, you've got to turn around and say, okay. You've done well. So now can you follow that up? And where do you go with regard to, okay, I'd like to see your ambitions for the next 18 months, 3 years, 5 years. Where do you see us? Is it a Roma situation where you target that Conference League Cup? Okay, because we're up for it. What is it? Is it a domestic cup? Is it consistent UEFA qualification?
What is it?
Show us that. Don't necessarily come out and pin it on the board outside Bramley Moor Dock, but show us in the investment where you're going.
No, that's it. The aim's got to be the Premier League. Whether you ever get there, that's irrelevant.
No, the aim's got to be it, absolutely.
You've got to aim for it. I'll just read this and then we'll go on to your thoughts on the new ground.
Okay.
Bill says Atletico dominated that for large portions last night and still lost. Tough game due to their firepower and relentlessness made harder by officials being massively on the red side. You get that. Anfield's always been a place where they get 99.9% of the decisions. Very rare is a referee brave enough to give something against them. And the VAR, you've got no chance. And John Brooks is on it on Saturday, so let's God help us.
Mel Brooks could be on it, wouldn't make a blind bit of difference.
But John Brooks, he may as well have his Liverpool shirt on Saturday. We have moved into the new stadium. I love it. I love the outside of it. I love sitting in my seat. There's a lot, in my opinion, there's still big work to be done in the middle bit of it. Getting from the street into my seat, that bit
is horrendous.
Is not good at all. So what are your early thoughts on it?
With what you just said there about inside, great. Outside, the facade of it, wonderful. I'm sorry, but I've got to have to say this, is that I don't really think enough was given enough thought and input and consideration to the people who have got health conditions. And I know loads of them are working on the food bank, as we're going to discuss in a bit. So kind of it's relevant. My mate Dave Kelly is on a stick himself. We have consistent donors who are either in a wheelchair or they have assisted entrance and exit. It's absolutely horrendous.
Right.
The access is horrendous. They're locking it 1 hour behind with no consideration. We had the first game against Roma. It was a problem moving from the fan zone because, as you know, we had our own spec in the fan zone with banners across the top, so everyone knew where we were. That's changed now because it's just an open concourse, and we couldn't actually get in the footprint. So fair play to the Blue House, shout out to the Blue House. they allowed us to be literally outside their front door with bread crates and a bucket. So the bread crates were for the donations, people coming, basically so we could just keep our donations going. And Kelly tapped me and turned to me left, and there was a blue badge, a wheelchair badge on a car, which they did say they were going to tow any cars away. It was a blue badge car, and within 15 minutes it was on the back of a tow truck getting carried away. I wanted to see some more consideration. I know you can't do everything, but these are long-term, for the most part, long-term Evertonians who you're basically taking it for granted, and I don't even know if that's legal anymore. I mean, it's certainly not moral, in my opinion. It's just my opinion.
Yeah, of course.
I'm not speaking on behalf of anyone else.
No.
But if I'm looking for ownership and investment and forward thinking, I'd like that to be resolved. I'd like that, at least if it can't be resolved immediately, to be on the list of things to do and say, okay, we recognise that might be an issue. So what we're going to do is they're talking about buying land, okay, adjacent to Bramley Moordock. Well, I'd like them to requisition a certain aspect of that and say, right, this is for yous. There you are. You're in, you're out. You'll still have to join the queues of the traffic, but no one's complaining about that. It's just it is what it is on that score. But we haven't got to the bad weather yet. And some people have got lecky wheelchairs and some people haven't. Some people have to have other people to start pushing them. The gradients on the roads are all like that. It's a complete nightmare. So that would be ideal for me. It's not regarding me. I'm not talking about what I want. It's not about my thing. But I have noticed that is an aspect. And the queuing to get in the ground, like 25 minutes is like a given. You know, that's not good, is it? I mean, that should have been factored in. So that would be an area I look to improve. I don't drink and I don't gamble, so I know that both of those things are available. And I can't really comment whether you can get a pint easy enough, but the lads around me seem to think you can. So that's great. I've got no problem with any of that. And now we are... our van, the Fan Support and Food Bank's van, is located at the very end of the front facade, so it's against the fence over there. Just to get that in, we'll talk a bit more about that in a minute, I think.
What about the pricing inside the ground?
I haven't been anywhere near it. So there's nothing. I don't eat cakes. So sorry, Jack, about your wages, mates, with the donuts. And I don't drink, and I don't gamble, so it's...
So, okay, that's fair enough,
I'm not against it, I'm just saying
I'm
I haven't had occasion to go down there.
If it isn't really thinking, you don't... Why would you have an opinion on if you're just doing your bits and stuff when you get it?
We're all just still getting used to it. I'm just about finding out where to sit, to be honest. I've only been 4 times.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I do love it, I must admit, but I don't like I think... The service just isn't good enough in the concourse. It's just not.
Behind the counter?
Yeah, it's not good enough. Okay. And the pricing's outrageous, in my opinion. It's within the city of Liverpool.
I have it that way.
I've had to pay 300 odd extra quid for my season ticket, and then 3 chicken nuggets at £9.5 or something.
Really?
For hot dogs for a kid, is £6.50, but it's crap. And the other one with anything on is £12.50. Chicken's 12 quid for a little bowl. I mean, it's not an event. This is a game every other week.
It's like Coldplay.
So I just think that's what I mean. So I just think I think they need to have a look at that. They've got so much right outside. It's inside. I love it. It's amazing. They've done a fantastic job. Still think a couple of bits of concrete that are visible. I'd like them to be blue, please. Yeah. So it doesn't. But I think they've done a marvellous job. They have, and they should be patted on the back for it. But I do hope they address the issues that are inside it. That a lot of, I mean, we speak to people, thousands of people every day on here, and there's been quite a lot of feedback
we get it at the van
with all of that. So anyway,
last thing on Bramley Moor, the noise. You can notice it.
Yeah.
It's absolutely been factored in, and that's the thing. That's been my biggest takeaway from it. Once this gets going, once the games get tight, once the nights come in and the bigger games come around, you will notice. Because
it's been amazing.
Definitely
especially
tangible.
like the goal and that. when the goal goes in, when they're walking out, that is incredible. You're right, once it builds, we just need a little bit more of that. If we can, don't know how you do it, we're never going to have the German flags at the front, getting everyone going, but if we can build on that a bit, we can. Because they've built it, it does feel like you're on top of the players still, which I think was a massive thing. It had to be. None of that, I mean, you've been to West Ham a million times, none of that shite where it's binoculars to see them. We're right on top of it. And I think opposition will find that difficult, especially if we're noisy going.
That's the point.
I thought this was a new stadium and I was going to have loads of room, and these are still calling me every once under the sun. And I can hear them. That's been really good. And the team have been excellent there, let's be honest, you know. So long may that continue. So fans for food banks.
Fans supporting food banks, yes. Obviously, I've mentioned it a couple of times already. Our van, we do collections at both Liverpool and Everton home games.
Yeah,
it's across the city, and it's across Stanley Park Initiative, inaugurated by 2 sets of fans: Dave Kelly, Robbie Daniels, Ian Byrne. We are now in our 10th year, and basically our van is situated outside the Cop at Anfield. There's actually a porter cabin with a shutter, but at Bramley-Moore Dock it's only new, so we hopefully be getting a little bit more permanency with regard to location as we go forward. But the van is, as you come in, the Bramley-Moore pub's behind you, there's the ground, Hill Dickinson Stadium, we're over on the left hand side, basically on line with the facade.
Okay.
So you can see us there. It's once you get there, as you walk towards the stones, you know, the things just there on the left hand side.
Okay.
However, our business model, for the want of a better term, it's a charity, but if you try and stay with me, is basically donations from fans on match days throughout the season. By doing Everton and Liverpool, it means we continue through the weeks. We get 38 ostensibly. We get 38 weeks consistently. So one team's away, one team's at home, one team's away, one's at home. Now, we just came through the summer, which obviously there's no football. So there's no football, there's no donations. So we have got a donations bucket, which we run pantries, 9 pantries, Monday to Friday, throughout various areas in the city. So in order to fund that, the donations will come into the bucket, keep the vans on the road. Nobody gets paid, by the way. This is a complete voluntary organisation. Nobody takes a penny out of it. However, we then use that money to buy fresh fruit and vegetables, meat, eggs, or whatever, plus other items. So we basically fund it throughout the summer. Our problem has been that because we've moved from Goodison, specifically from Goodison, less so from Anfield, but specifically from Goodison, not only has the summer impacted us, the relocation has also impacted us. People didn't know where we were. Even when you were bringing donations, these new stewards who've never been to Goodison, who didn't know who we were from a hole in the road, were saying, you can't bring that in here. You can't. And then we were getting messages and tweets and stuff later on saying, I had this for you, I had to put it in the bin. And it's a complete and utter nightmare. So basically, I will be coming on here, hopefully, with regularity, and I will be reinforcing it. It's basically Scousers for Scousers thing. It's about politics is up its own arse. Look at it on a global scale or the national scale or even locally. It's upside down. So basically, we are trying to do something which it's never going to solve these problems, never. But if we can go just a little tiny dint in some fanboys around this city, well, that's what we're in it for. And you've been really good. Peter comes down often and films us. You've been always open to me for coming on here, and I'd like to thank you for that, by the way. But it really, really is. Our donations have been down 50%.
Right, okay.
So it's not hurting me. It's hurting these
families.
And the both fan bases, Liverpool and Everton, are amongst the most generous in the country because we work with the other food banks. Ours was the original one. And there's food banks all over the country now, fan supporting food banks. Which is a disgrace, really, all that over we need them. Exactly,
but we do need them.
Exactly.
But we do need them.
However, so because of that fact, we know them, we know what goes on there, how they run it, we visit them often, and they're all great things, but 50% is a lot. You know, it really is. So that's why I'm here to reinforce it. And we take tinned items, sanitary products, toilet tissue, toothbrushes, toothpaste, anything, what non-perishable. Anything non-perishable. We can't take meat or we can't take food because it'll go off. Yeah. We've got suppliers for that. But the rest of it, anything is welcome. One item. If 50,000 people, half of those people factoring in the away fans and half of those people bring one single item, that'll probably get us over a month, 6 weeks.
Right, okay.
Different items. See what I mean? It's honestly, genuinely important. Yeah. So thanks for your time on that. Lastly, I have got an announcement to make about fan support and food banks with regard to Marine Women's FC.
Right.
We were delighted over the latter end of the summer to be contacted by a friend of ours who wishes to remain anonymous, but proposed to us that they are would like to sponsor Marine Women's FC in the name of fan support and food banks. Right. They want no credit for this. They were doing it because of they see what we do. They're really impressed about what we do. They know a couple of us personally. And he just wanted to say, I've got your back, kind of thing. Yeah. And we were delighted with that. Well, Marine Women's FC have got an FA Cup tie against AFC Fylde at the Marine Ground at 2 o'clock on Sunday. So anybody looking for something to do, get down there, please. And you might find some of us wearing our fan support and food banks.
Is there going to be donations available to be given there?
Well, that is it. We don't want to presuppose that because it's not our ground. It's the first time we'll be visiting there as a kind of a thing. But that would be, I believe, I haven't been yet. It's only been within the first month of the sponsorship. So it's in its infancy. And they played twice on the same day. We have the first team at Everton. So obviously. However, I believe there'll be some branding going up around the ground as well. Okay. But I actually... Definitely, please go down there because they do need your support. It's a breadline struggle at that level in the pyramid. But also, I really wanted to shout out the donor who had seen ostensibly via social media and speaking to us in the occasions when I see them socially, and be that affected by our initiative, by the fan support and food banks initiative, that they wanted to put their hand in their own pocket. That's the bit what I was trying to highlight. Because we aren't able to do that. So if our actions, our collective actions, incite people, whoever they may be, just down to a single tin of beans or a single tin of hot dogs or whatever, to think I might be able to help a little bit. That's the whole ball game.
Fantastic. Listen, do what you can. If
Thank
you
you
can
very
take
much.
something and donate it, it's an unbelievable cause. When I was a social worker, I was at some of the earliest ever food banks and couldn't believe I was going there. And there was a stigma. I was going there to get stuff for families who had nothing. So I've seen people who have got nothing. And at that time, it was people who were living in poverty and certain things had gone on in their lives that have put them in difficult situations. That's changed. These people need food banks who've got jobs. That's because of I don't know what's gone on. But food bank and clothes bank and everything, they're all needed. So if you can do your little bit to help the area, to help people in this city, if you're coming into the city because you'd never told in from elsewhere and you've got, you know, you can get a tin or like Dave said, some of the other non-perishable items, bring it with you. It makes you feel good as well. It does, and that's always nice as well. But you're doing it for someone else, and I don't think we do enough for other people without there being. You shouldn't need to feel good, but what I mean is that it is that good. But I think there's not enough. We don't do enough actions for other people where we don't want anything back from it, and that's okay to give something and go, I've done a little bit there. That's fine. But if you can help. and just see, try to make a bit of a difference, because no one's coming over the hill on a fucking white horse to save us all. We've all just got to help each other. There's not enough of it, despite probably society is where it is, because everyone's out for themselves now. But if you can do a little bit,
altruism rocks, brother.
all of these volunteers like Dave and everybody else who goes and gives up their time and all that, then
Amen,
go and support if you can. You know where they are now. They're at the ground to the left where the Hill Dickinson sign is, up at the stadium, to the one facing the city.
Yeah.
Or is that where you are by there? Yeah. Go in if you can give anything. Outstanding. Try to do your little bit. It will make a difference to someone's life. So thank you, Dave, for all the work that you do, and thank you for bringing it to everyone's attention. Let's remind each other, because I know that every time I ever walk past there at Goodison, it was buzzing. People were giving stuff. I'll admit I've not noticed it in the new stadium, but I will be looking out for it now. Elizabeth says, hi guys, good to see Dave back on the show. He might remember me. We spoke on the pitch at Goodison when Big Nev was there,
I do remember,
giving out his signed gloves.
I do
and she actually asks, is the food bank up and running at Hill Dickinson? I haven't seen it myself. Well, now you know, Liz.
Yeah.
Elizabeth, now you know it's all back up and running, so do your bit. Dave, and thank you all for the well wishes for a couple of my family members who are in hospital at the moment. One of them's Mary. My mother-in-law's been in for 4 weeks. She's been in there.
Oh,
and she's a season ticket old, and she's devastated.
I love Mary.
She's not been able to go.
I knew Mary. I worked it, just to go off on the side. I knew him first, and then he invited me to his house for a function one night, 20 odd years ago. I walked into his living room, and his mother-in-law was sitting on the couch. And she looked up and went, Dave, how are you, mate? And I was like, Mary, what are you doing on Barry's couch? Why are you in Barry's house?
Yeah.
I'm his mother-in-law. Yeah. I was like, shut the front door.
Yeah, so
very good. Give her my best, please.
She's in hospital, so's her husband.
Oh, no.
I've got both in those.
Oh, no.
No. So there you go. So thank you for all those well wishes. Right.
Yeah.
A really bit of sad news.
Yeah.
From a personal level for you and your friends.
Absolutely. Our friend Ted Ledwich of the Crocky Blues, long time Evertonian, top man. If anyone ever went in the Winslow pub at Goodison, Jay's going to put a picture up of Ted in a second, so you'll be able to see it. If you've ever visited the Winslow pub for more than one bevy over the years, you will probably know Ted. Absolute cornerstone of that community, which we've all moved on to Bramley-Moore now, so it's easy to forget about things. The Winslow was a staple. This is both for journalists, players, ex-players, ex-managers, and Evertonians alike. Even away fans visited the Winslow. My West Ham mates love it to bits, still to this day. And it was a shock, man. About 2 weeks ago, Ted passed away in the night. And it was absolutely devastating for his family. I spoke to Claire, his daughter, on Saturday, his friends, and particularly everybody at the Winslow, the barmaids, even the young ones, are devastated. We're all devastated. So I just wanted to go on and give me sincerest condolences and best wishes to his family from everybody who knew him. And we were his mates, and he's going to be a massive loss. It absolutely devastated me, but big love to everybody, and rest in peace, Ted Ledwich.
There you go. Sad news there. So yeah, definitely rest in peace, Ted. Dave, it's been great to see.
Last one.
Go on.
My granddaughter.
Oh, of course, I was going to say we haven't.
People stop me on the bus now and say, "When are you going on Toffee TV?" And say, "Oh, well, soon." Kind of, it's open ended. I don't know.
Yeah.
Soon, which is usually true.
Whenever
soon.
You want.
I love the way you say to that, to your granddaughter. Well,
off you go.
The music, I just did the sound effect there. Yeah.
It did. That's your camera.
Coco Jean, love you very much. Hope you did well on the cricket. Gaga is going to be the coach for the cricket. Love you, baby. Be good in school. For Miss Lane. Thank you very much.
There you go. There you go. Quality.
Lastly, thanks for having me, and specifically thanks for having me to talk about the two personal things today, fan support and food banks. and Ted Ledwich. I needed to get those two things out of there. One, on behalf of the people I work with, and secondly, on behalf of Ted's family. Big loves to everyone for that. Thank you very much.
Not a problem. Get in soon as. Mary, come on, get well soon.
Mary,
get well soon.
Big love to you, Mary. I miss you, girl.
She's missing the seat. She keeps asking, will it be all right for that West Ham game? Like,
Probably not.
Don't know. Maybe we'll start to see a night game. Maybe Palace on the Sunday, Mary. So come on, get your act together, Mary. Right. Thank you very much, Dave. Get back in ASAP. Thank you to everyone who's joined us. Make sure you like and subscribe. Do all of that stuff and help the food bank if you can.
Thank you.
Now you know it's back up and running. Take it easy.
Peace, Toffies.